want to tell you something that I saw happen a couple of weeks ago. It was a remarkable moment. Wednesday, 2 weeks ago, when people by the hundreds of thousands lined up to go get a chicken sandwich at a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And a lot of people couldn't understand what was going on. I think I understand just a little bit. It was when people got in those lines, and even though they sometimes would sit in their car idling a tank's worth of gas, are standing in line for 2 and 3, and I heard reports of 3 and 4 hours. And yet they weren't angry about it. They didn't take their chicken sandwich, throw it on the floor, and stomp on it. Why would they tolerate that? Let me tell you why. Because that was the day when a lot of people in this country looked around and realized they weren't alone. They realized they weren't alone. This wasn't about Dan Cathy or something he said. It was about when mayors of United States cities actually used the position of a power and authority that they held and said that they wouldn't welcome a company because someone affiliated with the company had a point of view that they disagreed with. And there are a lot of us who said, whoa, it's one thing to disagree. It's one thing to even argue and to call names. But to begin to use the power of government to put your boot on our throat and tell us to shut up and go away, that we are not welcome in places where we still have to pay taxes, there were a lot of us who said, that's a bridge too far. And on that day, a lot of people in America stood and spoke. But what I want you to understand is that it was not so much the pleasure of the sandwich. It was the unmitigated joy of looking around, not just here in Iowa. And I saw some video footage that was stunning to me. My friend Randy Davis from Ottumwa had gone to the mall, and he took his, I guess it was his iPhone camera, and he started at the beginning at the check stand, and he just followed the line. And I thought, how long is this going to last? And just panning that crowd, I thought it would never end. And yet across the country, there were no reports of people getting into fights and fussing and fighting over chicken sandwiches. And you know why? Because it was the joy of looking around and saying, I'm really not alone after all. My view as a believer, to believe in traditional marriage and to believe that it's right to protect life from the moment of conception is not a view that makes me all by myself out here.